So the eclipse season is about to start and it's gonna be on the February 17. This eclipse will be the one of the most important one. It's a full ring eclipse, and please be advised that this season will bring you something which is life changing. Usually, eclipses are connected to karma by itself and they move us towards our future. Most of the things will happen unexpectedly and they are necessary for your growth. And be advised that you also need to be precautious. So, what to do and what not to do during the eclipse time. So, the first solar eclipse will start our eclipse corridor, which will end on March with the lunar eclipse. During this time, you need to realize that the corridor it's a really hectic environment, but the main eclipse day is even more hectic and unpredictable. What better not to do? It's recommended not to quarrel with anyone and also not to shut the doors, because the door which will shut on the eclipse will be shut forever. So if you don't want to end up relations with someone, just be mindful that if you're gonna shut the door, if you're just gonna walk away, you're gonna walk away forever. It's like signing a contract, and it's basically impossible to get back together after that. Another thing which you need to consider that there is lots of craziness happening. During the eclipse, not only sun by itself is under the shadow, under confusion basically, but also your mind will be blurred. So that's why it's really important for you to realize that everything which will happen, you need some times to digest. You cannot see clearly during the eclipse. If it's happened, then it meant to be. But in the same way, if you're conscious enough and you have a choice, just be mindful that eclipse it's very serious moments. Also, what's not to do, it's better not to sign any important contracts. It's better not to buy property, nothing life changing like moving to another country, or nothing which is like happen on the whim. And the surgery as well. During the surgery, there is a high chances that there might be an error, only because, as I mentioned, not only your vision will be blurred, but it will be the whole humanity by itself. The mind will be a little bit covered like a sun, in the shadow. So it's hard to make a really nice decision. Also, it's not recommended to change your title or change your job environment. Ideally, if you're gonna wait 2 weeks before and after of the eclipse date, in this case, the energy will settle down and it will be less likely that you or someone else will do an error. What is better to do on the eclipse? So it is recommended to finish what you started before. The eclipse, it's a perfect point where you can finally place a big fat dot in your things which you started long time ago but never had a time to finish or never had a chance to finish. So if on eclipse there will be an opportunity for you to finally end something which lasted forever and never ended, that's a perfect point. That's like a sign to go for it. Also, it's recommended because eclipse it's more like this void. Imagine a supermassive black hole opens during the eclipse, and what you can do, you can dump everything which you do not need without it being basically returning back. It's recommended for you to get rid of your fears, like maybe some limited beliefs, maybe some old clothes which doesn't fit you anymore, maybe even with a like negative thoughts. I usually do the burning, like I write down on the pieces of paper. Of course, be mindful. Please have like everything fireproof and always make sure that you're near the fire whenever you do some rituals. But what I usually do, I tear the pieces of paper or I wrote down everything which I have in my mind negative, what I want to read off. get rid of, I prefer usually to tear it to small pieces of paper and write down on each single piece, like what I want to get rid of. Like I want to get rid of fear. I want to get rid of uncertainty. I want to get rid of, I don't know, maybe like old job, maybe like some old relations. This is something which weigh you down, and you know that you never like maybe addictions, especially addictions for the alcohol, that's or addictions for the drugs or anything else, addictions to the unhealthy relations, or maybe to be a people pleaser. In any case, something which you've been trying to get rid of, the eclipse, it's a perfect time for you to get rid of it. So as I mentioned before, I write it down on the small pieces of paper. And usually, what I do, you need to be mindful that when you're writing it down, you need to say whatever I write down leaves my body and remains on the paper. So that will be your intention there. But then, when you will light up the fire or the candle, you take the piece of paper and you basically burn it, and you're watching how your worries or problems or something which you want to get rid of is just slowly burning into ashes. And honestly, this helps a lot. And I would say eclipses are, it's funny because before I never thought of them like a very serious thing. But with the time, I kind of see that lots of things, like a very important, actually happens on the eclipse by itself. The whole life, you can measure them in between the eclipse seasons. So, yeah, I guess this is it for today. Also, please be mindful, eclipse will cause lots of lunatics and lots of people with not stable psyche to activate. So, if you will see lots of shenanigans around, if you will see, I don't know, people trying to be aggressive, just be mindful. It's eclipse, it's like a full moon times 1,000. So just be cautious and be mindful, and be more aware of what you're saying and what's happening. And that's how the eclipse will go in the best possible way for you. Thank you for being with me today. I wish you all the best and have a wonderful day.